Elder abuse and neglect. Ugh, they're such ugly words. And because they're ugly, we don't even want to talk about them. But I have a personal story that I would like to share with you in the hope that the more we talk about this very prevalent, very real issue, the more we will feel equipped to continue these conversations and combat them together. So, I worked for a time as a life enrichment director in a memory care facility in Boise, Idaho. It was really special having the same conversations day after day with my memory care residents, some of whom had dementia, some had Alzheimer's, some had cognitive delays or traumatic brain injuries. There came an instance, and this was the first experience that I'd had firsthand, where it was actually an investigation. And Adult Protective Services entered our facility. You know, she had a badge and she said, "Hi, I'm looking for Mr. So-and-so." And I was in a managerial position, but I'd never been in this situation before. And so I, greeted her and said, "Where are you from? Can I check in with your credentials? Let me go grab my executive director for you, and then I'll find our resident." I'm on high alert already. So we go through the proper channels, grab my executive director. We find the resident, who happens to be one of my personal favorites. Just the sweetest man. Way down south. He had an accent so thick you could barely understand him. He called everybody darling. And I hadn't noticed anything strange with this resident, and so I was a little bit confused. The day goes on, and Adult Protective Services is there for the day, and they're asking questions, and they're talking to our resident, who has Alzheimer's, mind you, and the rest of the care staff, and they're interviewing us in a room behind closed doors. And I learned that there had indeed been an incident with this resident from one of our caregivers. She had grabbed him very firmly by the wrist and caused bruising, swelling, and redness. And this was so shocking for me, but maybe it shouldn't have been, because I know two things about the facility that I worked in. There was really high turnover in the caregivers, and the caregivers who were there long term were so burnt out. This was a long-term problem, and this was something that management was aware of, but wasn't